going to the last plates of the steel here and get that all done. We got the steel from yesterday. I'm going to be getting the other plate so we can finish the other placard because there's not enough meat on the bones on this one to do that. So I'm going to angle this a bit. And angle you guys so you guys can see. So we're going to be marking out on the steel again, like yesterday. I'm looking at the steel. I'm probably going to do 2 more of these, and then we're going to stop there and then do the back placard. So. See there, we're going to be going down the line like yesterday. Get the steel, just keep it down. You gotta make sure enough weight on the steel because we don't have any more weight. Since we cut a lot of the steel out, all the weight's gone, so we're having to use levers in our advantage. We want the majority of the weight on that side. And slowly moving this steel up to cut it. So. We got cut one more of the fold. Try to see all chats. All messages. And this is 18 gauge steel we're making for our suit of armor. We're cutting the back placard and the remaining 2 folds. I decided to do 3 folds per side. In the next video, I'll be showing you guys how to shape and then shape, strap, rivet, and get all this up to snuff to wear in combat. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Let me get a better angle on this. This is now a funny piece of steel, so I may have to put like I got a few weights. I'll probably do that. Should be enough. I am cutting steel for a suit of armor. Yesterday we cut, this was called a placard. So and that's going to be attached to my main breastplate, which is, I have a midriff between my belly and my leg armor, and that's the armor that protects that area. Yeah. So this helps you. You just keep thinking medieval thoughts, right? I do not weld, no. I have welded in the past. I am just a, I guess you'd call it metalsmith, a blacksmith, or yeah, I think it's a blacksmith, right? Do not weld. Most of my stuff is all riveted, so I'm trying to, since I'm in a medieval hobby, I'm trying to do everything by hand and not use any kind of power tools if I can help it. That includes welders. Though some pieces are welded, and I'm fine with having my buddies weld, so. All right, we're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, so thank you. Every little bit helps. We're up to, I think, 905 as of this morning. And I'm going to be doing more metal crafting as well on the channel. I'm working on a tent series. We're doing some woodworking and building a medieval style tent, basically out of a hobby store, so other people can do it if they want to make a medieval tent. The barrier for entry for that is a little lower than this, because you got to be comfortable around sharp metal and how it works, right? Because I try to explain to people, you don't want to basically go against the grain of the metal on the edge. That's going to get you cut, but like a little bit of pressure like this, unless there's like a jagged piece, will not get you. Because I have people that overly worry about the steel, like it's I just call it a spicy paper. It can cut you, and I've seen people cut by it. Yeah, I know. That's why I was decided, like, should I do a live stream today? And I was like, yes, I should, because I got the back placard to finish, 1, and 2, I got that goal to reach before the end of the year. I've been going like ham crazy to get to the 1,000 mark. And that's just my first goal of the channel. In fact, I can get you some of my chest plate and show you what some of the end product is going to look like, because this is all going to be painted armor. It's all going to be painted, right? So like my armor is a work of art. So I may not do things the quote-unquote proper professional way, because I'm building a piece of art, and you know, art's kind of messy, right? And you're always refining your process. We're almost done here. But I can say, look people in the eye, another man's like, I built my entire suit of armor with my own hands. Nothing more than snips. All right, check that out. So that's one fold. And we got, okay, what we got so far. We did 4 yesterday. This makes the 5th. We got 1 more after that, and then I gotta cut that placard. If you don't know what a placard is, because you're not into stuff, I'll show you here in a second. Put the steel out of the way. And basically, I'm just doing rough cuts for now, and then one of the next videos or live streams I can do, it's kind of showing the shaping process, like kind of what I go through. It's like hammering a piece of clay. The best way to describe it. Very dangerous piece of clay. I'll make sure this is not anywhere where I can get anyone as I walk. Boom. All right. So that's out of the way. I'm gonna get the armor. Be right back. Alright guys, got the armor. I'm put it on. Gotta show you where that placard goes. Alright, so this is the cuirass, the top portion of the chest plate. And as you can see, between here and where my leg armor is, which is right here, there's a giant section of "Please hurt me." So what this does, right? So this actually goes over the chest plate like this, and then it'd be attached by a strap similar to this over here. And these are called folds. They basically would cascade down, set the 3 down, and that's going to protect that midriff from getting hit. I'm getting hit there a lot more often now because my buddy's starting to realize I'm kind of weak there, right? You know, people tell you attack the gaps in the armor. That means the soft spots like armpits and groin area. So naturally people are going to gravitate towards like, huh, he complies faster when I hit him here. Let me hit him there some more. So that's kind of like what we're doing with the armor, or all this metalworking, is making stuff like this. So if you ever done miniatures or anything like that, similar process with your base coat, and then you layer on your paints, and you kind of get like the desired result that you're looking for. So I'm going to cut off this weird piece. There's like a weird, I'll show you. Yeah, it's kind of a 90-degree angle. I'm going to cut that off and then get that last fold out. And that'll give us about 6 folds, 3 on each side, and then we'll go from there. So let me get a better angle. So when you're cutting steel, it's all about angle of attack, because it's not like paper where you can easily move the material. This is kind of like this material is fighting back against you. So. Alright, we got a good ways on that end. Better angle. Alright, almost through. Turn this piece into something else in the future. I'm actually working on another buddy of mine's armor. So a square piece like that won't go to waste. But I just want it out of the way because I don't need it for my purposes currently. Make sure you collect all the sharp pieces of steel. That right there is probably what's going to injure you more than the big pieces. Okay, and then we take, you guys get a better angle so you can see this. Take your template, place it on the steel, and move this heavy thing off. Because the piece is light enough, I could probably cut this without having to use that weight anymore. The weight is for when you have like larger pieces, at least when I use it. Come over here. We're not cutting too exact, we're just cutting rough pieces. And then as we go to refine the product, you can then cut and shave as needed. You can always take away, hard to add on. So this last piece should be a lot easier than the other pieces for sure. Okay, we got our general cut shape. Remember that like angle attacks, like I can't turn left and right easily. I can do this and kind of like you come in here and it's like a little tiny wedge, and you kind of try to bend the steel. You can do that, or the easier way, right? Kiss, right? Something stupid. So you're just trying to do 90-degree angles, just come at a different angle. Alright, you come on this side. So we already made our cut that way, so as soon as I cut it all the way this way, you have your piece. You kind of want to make sure you're correcting your movement as well. Sometimes you lose line of sight. What do they say in Pirates of the Caribbean? It's more of a guideline than a hard rule. See, this is kind of like clay when you bend it. You gotta be careful, like I said, at the edges. The edge is where the danger's at. Like, the danger's not here. So I kind of form my hand into a C shape when I move material and keep my palm away from it. So. Kind of using like a fulcrum as well, the C shape. So if you can kind of see that, use it as a fulcrum. If you want to bend steel and you kind of bend it with your thumb down, you press down on the material itself, on the flat, not the edges. So you put no pressure at all when your hand meets an edge. You can also use the tool, right? Same kind of thing, just leverage it up. And like a tin can opener, get through that steel. Just be mindful of the edge on the inside of the cut as well here, like in between the handle and this. So you want to keep your fingertips on the handles as much as possible. Get through that piece of steel. And don't be afraid to get and cut a little bit. Cuts happen. So. And we all take, what do they call it? You all take your own risk. So if you're wanting to be not risky, use a shear. So they have an automatic shear, and they have grinders, which I think the grinder to me is just far more dangerous than loud. So it doesn't work for my family purposes, as it is too loud. So okay. Another thing cool about metal, if you ever worked with planar metal, I am making medieval armor. Oh, wait. Oh, it's a different person asked the same question. Yeah, making medieval armor. As you can see, your hands off the edges, the danger noodles. Now we got another fold for the placard. So to answer your question as thoroughly as possible, is we're cutting rough cuts of steel for the folds, which is the articulated portion between your hip and your legs. All this armor that I'm rough cutting out is for a placard. The placard goes over here like this, and these are going to, with enough of them and leather and rivets, there's going to be about 3 on each side, front and back, and it's going to be covering that lower portion and protecting that area, because I get hit there a lot. So that's primarily what we're doing. So now we got a piece of steel. steel that we can use for another project, right? There's not enough steel left to make the remaining placard on the back, so we're going to set this aside and come back to this for another project. One of my friends needs elbows, so I can turn these into a pair of elbows. So one way to keep yourself safe from like all this metal debris, because it's all flimsy and flopping, is you make it in more manageable squares. Squares are safer to store than like weird jagged pieces of metal like this. So you just would snip off odd bits. Now that's more manageable and safer to store. But yeah, the danger comes from the edge. You see right there, stuff like that, right? Because you'll create that. Incidentally, when you make a direction change, you'll create these jagged pieces at edge. You can try that in scissors and see what I'm talking about. You can do the same thing in scissors. You actually make little bits. On paper, it doesn't do much, right? So you get that right there. So that happens. So, but now we have some more safer bits of metal to store. And I'm going to set all this aside and work on the last piece, the last placard, which is the back half. I'm going to get the template out. So this is the template. You guys watched some of the videos earlier. Paper money, how to make paper money, like medieval paper money. They might have had some medieval paper money. I know the Chinese had paper money. But no, I am working on, eventually going to be working on a currency series for medieval stuff. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and stay tuned. Because I do, like I said, I work with all sorts of metals, precious and this stuff. So now I make clear our space. Put this away. I gotta clear the area because I got another sheet of steel just for y'all. Doggo. Again, the danger comes from the edge, so you want to keep your hand away from the edges. So now we got a fresh sheet of steel. Just look at that, isn't that side to hold, right? If you think about it, like in medieval times, this would have cost you an arm and a leg to get a sheet like this, right? So kings didn't have access to this type of material. So whenever you're working with metal, think about like how far we've come in society. Like my suit of armor, I was looking online, and they're talking about like kings of old, the armor they had, and guys' armor, when adjusted for inflation and all that other stuff converted to modern day currencies, it was like something like $1.7 million for his suit of armor that I'm basically wearing. It's very, very similar style. Here's my pin. So we start the project, obviously. Zach Galifianakis. Okay, I don't know who that is. But thank you, I'll take it as a compliment. You look like a famous person of some sort. Thank you. I like to think I'm famous a little bit. So we're doing the template. It's like trace and cut, right? Come over here. I was thinking about this the other day, like when I cut this out yesterday, I was having difficulty. I was like, wait a minute, how did I do it last time? Because I cut larger pieces. I was like, that's right. I cut a giant square out, and then I cut out the curvature pieces because it makes it easier because your angles of attack. So I'm going to do that today. So when you cut pieces that have curves in it, you want to cut at the highest point on a straight line here. So somewhere over here, and it's okay if you kind of come at an angle, it's fine. Gotta make sure the steel doesn't hit me. It's kind of like cutting very dangerous paper that wants to kill you. It doesn't want to kill you. It's kind of like you respect the material and you work with it. You kind of feel how it handles, how she works. You can work it and bend it to your will any way you want, without fear. You gotta be kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like, I told my missus kind of what it's like. It's feeling empathy towards the material itself, like whatever it may be, and then you kind of get in tune with the material. That's the best way to kind of describe it. See? And as you cut steel, you kind of want to naturally paper bend. Steel doesn't resist bending, so you kind of have to help it along. So as you can see, I'm bending down, I'm pushing on the flat of the steel, not the edges. I want to keep away from those danger edges. The safety is important to a lot of people, and it is to me. So you want to respect the material you're working with. So whatever medium you're working with, you gotta respect it. And now, honestly, I'm at such an advantageous angle. Wow, well, my brain doesn't work sometimes. I could probably come at a swoop angle that I have going on. We'll try that. So that's less cutting for us in the future. And that way we have more usable steel left. Alright, I think I've done as much as I can on the right-handed side. I'm going to have to switch and come to the left-hand side. And you kind of like work the material, work the piece until you get the desired result, or what you're trying to achieve. My achievement is trying to just get the piece cut out of the sheet of steel. Okay. I guess I can see how I can get this. Yeah, it's going to be a kind of an interesting angle there, right? So 90 degrees are actually technically impossible. So the best way to attack this, another angle, I imagine. So we're going to bend this down even further. Okay. All about angles of attack. So I'm trying to make it as easy for me to access as possible. All right, check that out. I don't know if you can see that, guys. Sorry if I blocked it. Bend the wheel as you go. You have access to cutting. Being aware of your surroundings, right? Did you guys see that? That was crazy. Alright, we're almost there. Home stretch, guys. This is kind of what it takes to make suits of armor, which is roughly about an hour per plate, honestly, if you're going at the correct pace. Like if you were to like go from cut steel to finished product, you could probably do it under an hour if you had to go fast. See, just take your time, little nibbles at a time, and check it. Bam, we got it, guys. So that is part of the placard, and I think that's all the steel we need to cut for this project. I'll get all the steel together, and I'll assemble the cuirass so you guys can kind of see what the end product is going to somewhat look like. So we got either the front or back. And we still got to cut our other stuff. We haven't finished it yet completely. Obviously, got to finish that one side that we talked about. So I can show that in a second. Metal! All right. So, three on each side of this. So we'll just do that so you guys can get a general look, because when it's on the ground, it's going to look somewhat like this, because it's going to be held together by a leather piece, so it's going to be very articulated, and it's going to be moving a lot, because you have to allow for movement of the legs, because this is technically moving my legs. So we'll take this, the actual cuirass, the chest plate off, and put it in the center, which is where this is going to go. And we probably need to do some more shaping and other things like that. Get this off. Let me turn you guys around real quick. But that's kind of how it's going to look, roughly. So you have those lanes there. They're going to be coming down, protecting the legs. I got to come in and also repair the actual chest plate armor as well. It's been over a year since I manufactured this. It needs to also be recurved, bent, because I've lost weight. So now this armor is just a bit bigger than I am. So as you can see, it is a band of metal that goes all the way around with those folds that fall below my waist. So that's part one of that project there. If you guys want to see more, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to do the last cut for you guys, which is, like I said, this part right here. And then I'm going to probably end the live stream there. We're about 40 minutes in to do those two cuts plus the plate. So I told you right about roughly an hour. So. Ugh. I know it looks rather rough right now, but in time it's going to look like a nice finished product. So, got the rough steel cuts done. Let's do the final portion, which is just cutting and snipping that little area that we started with. Let's move this to where we can get a better place. Let's see that. Blah. I apologize for all the angles. If you guys are curious of the gauge of steel, it's 18 gauge steel. Yeah, this was way easier than yesterday. Yesterday I was kind of struggling just getting that curvature off. So this is called like under the steel cut, as you can see here. I don't know if you guys can see that better, like how that works, right? And you want to, like I said, bend that steel. It's just like cutting paper. And there's something so satisfying about cutting steel and getting to the end result. Sweet. That's our placard. We got it, guys. We got front and back now. So I hope you guys liked the video. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and share. As we grow this channel, I'll be doing more tutorial series on like armor making, tent making, all sorts of medieval things. I have a medieval cart when we work on another wheel set. So if you guys are interested in doing a wheel series, I'll definitely do that as well. Just because my wheels, if you ever looked at that video, they're not too round, but it's my first set. So we're always learning. God bless and have a good day.